Have you ever been to a subdivision where all the homes look the same, up and down the subdivision? It kind of reminds me of that TV show, The Weeds. The theme song of the TV show is little boxes on the hillside, little boxes made of ticky-tack, little boxes on the hillside, and they all look the same. There's a blue one and a pink, a green one and a yellow one.
There's a pink one and a green one and a blue one and a yellow one, and they're all made out of ticky-tacky and they all look just the same.
Yeah, that's what I think of. I think of that theme song because many of our clients, when they move to Fort Wayne, they say, yeah, sure, we see the new construction homes, but we just want a house with a little bit of character. We don't want our house to look like every other house. So in this video, I'm gonna go to 3 homes that I showed earlier today for our client. He moved from Tennessee, and that's exactly what he expressed. He said, listen, I don't want my house to look like everybody else's. So I'm gonna give you some tips in this video of what to look for, some pitfalls, and then I'll tell you some areas that you can find some of these homes with character. Once you've identified that you do wanna find a house with character, it may be a little bit older, you wanna look out for deficiencies and repairs. Because on an older house, yes, it does have a different architectural design on the exterior, also the interior. There may be parts of the home that need to be repaired. Let's just take the windows, for example. I think that's the top area. That's my first tip, is to make sure that you closely look at those windows on older homes, because those windows, they don't make those windows anymore. And a lot of those windows may not open up correctly. You may not think about it as you're walking through the house. You forget to open up one of the windows. How much does it cost to replace those windows? So that's one of the things that you want to think about if you're looking to buy a home with character that's a little bit older. If you're thinking about buying a home that's older with character, clearly identify the level of remodel you're thinking about. A light remodel, a moderate remodel, or a heavy remodel. We all been there, right? We go into the house, we've seen HGTV and Chip and Joanna Gaines, and we're thinking, okay, I sold a house. We've got a lot of money coming back. Hey, we could take about $40,000 or $50,000 and put it into repairs. Once you get to thinking about it and you're thinking about other places that you could put that money, maybe buying a new car, purchasing some new furniture, paying for a trip, putting some money aside for the kids' college education. Like a lot of these things we're thinking about is so much money. Do you really want to put $40,000 or $50,000 into a remodel? Now, I don't want to discourage anybody, but these are the things that I've seen as the wheels start turning, as clients go to look at the homes with character, picking out the right home with character that meets the level of remodel that you're considering. So a light remodel would be just paint and flooring. Those are the 2 things that pretty much everybody wants to do. Repaint the house and put new flooring in the house. Depending on the size of the house, if you're looking at a home with character and it's in the areas that I'm going to show you later on in the video, the homes are going to be bigger, which means there's more square footage to cover. Plus, if you can find a house with a basement, you're going to be covering the basement as well. So the price can get up there pretty high.
Ticky-tacky and they all look just the same. And the people in the houses.
The first home I want to show you here we just saw is in Pine Valley Country Club. Now that's in the 46845. This is one of those older upscale neighborhoods. As you can tell in this kitchen, it's a big kitchen, but some of the appliances, white appliances, they need to be updated. Also the cabinets and the countertops need to be updated, but it has all of the space. Here in the master bed, this is another example of a unique floor plan. There's actually the walk-in, the ensuite here. You've got a whole nother entrance as we go back here. As you see, you do have that wallpaper. So that's what you're going to get. To update this particular house, I would say this one's a moderate rehab, but as you can already tell, this house, you can't find homes built like this.
And they came out all the same. And there's doctors and lawyers and business executives.
Now, after you've clearly identified, okay, we only want to spend $15,000 or $30,000, or we're going to do a heavy remodel, which is $60,000, $50,000 and above. Think about that number in the back of your head as you're going to the market and look at some of the homes that are on the market. Now, I'll tell you right now, there are 2 types of resale houses with character. Homes that haven't been updated and homes that have been updated. The homes that have been updated are going to cost upwards of the high 3s into the 4s, mostly the $400,000 homes. So you'll find homes in southwest side of town in the '04, for example. That's one of the areas where you can find homes that are not cookie cutter, that are not ticky-tack. But you can find some that haven't been upgraded at all. Maybe the homeowner has been living there since the '70s, they passed away. So when you walk in the house, it smells like mothballs. It's got carpet all around, the kitchen is dated, the cabinets are dated. So that's probably gonna be a heavy remodel. That home is probably gonna go on the market for around about $330 to $360.
I wanted to bring you to home number 2. This home is in Candle-Lite Park, southwest of town, in the 46804. We're also in the Aboit Township in the Southwest Allen County School District. So you can still find one of these older houses in one of the best school districts. Now, I wanted to bring you into the great room. This is an example of the interior design. Look at the vaulted ceiling with the skylight. So that's another attribute that you can expect if you're looking for a home with character.
Now let's talk about the interior of the house. A lot of these homes that were built between the basically 60s, 70s, all the way up to the 90s, the floor plan, you'll find 2 living spaces. So you'll have that formal dining room or a formal great room and a living room, if you know what I mean. Remember back when we were kids and there was that one room in the front of the house that nobody could go into because that's where the older folk used to hang out, right? That formal living room. And that's where it had the fancy rug was in there and all the fancy furniture that you couldn't sit on because they didn't want it to get worn down. If you remember those types of houses, these are the areas where you're going to find those types of houses. So they're going to have 2 living spaces usually. Secondly, these homes are a little bit more compartmentalized, meaning that you will have the formal dining, and then there may be a wall or door going into the kitchen, and then another, maybe a small partition between the kitchen and the other living space. So it's not as open as a modern farmhouse home, if that makes sense. But a lot of people don't mind that if there's just like one wall in between the kitchen and the dining room, for example. Another design that you'll find in a lot of these older houses, you can find them in newer houses as well, are a 3-season rooms and a 4-season room. If that's something that you're not used to hearing of here at Midwest area, there's about 5 months out of the year where it's pretty cold, snowy, the weather's not so great. So you have a 3 seasons room that you can go out bigger, almost like a screened-in porch, similar to that. And a lot of times it's heated or you add some AC. And the last architectural design that you can find in these older houses that makes it very unique, you have vaulted slanted ceilings. You'll see this a lot in houses in the Midwest, and I don't know why, but this is a design that you'll find in the areas that I just spoke of, where the ceilings are above 10 foot high, but they're kind of slanted, and at the top they have almost like a moon roof, if you will, to let light into that living space. So that's actually good because it keeps the living space lit. And a lot of people like that about those older homes with character.
Lot sizes and yard size. That's one thing that you'll get in some of these older homes, and it's the last point I want to highlight. I brought you to this last house. This was also Southwest Allen County and the Aboit Township. We're looking at a 3/4 acre lot. So the older homes typically come with larger lots and more space in between homes. So that's something to consider when you're thinking about purchasing a house with a little bit of character. Thank you guys for joining in on this video. Check out some of our other videos where we talk about the safest places to live in Fort Wayne.
Executives, and they're all made out of ticky-tacky, and they all look just the same. And they all play on the golf course and drink their martinis dry, and they all have pretty children, and the children go to school, and the children